Hey there, I'm Danya. Come on into my kitchen. Today we're making a family favorite and I am super excited to share it with you because everybody loves them. It's my roast beef and cheddar sliders. I've been making these for years and I can't tell you how many times that everybody just says, give me the recipe. So I'm gonna give you the recipe today. It's time to go through the ingredients. Let me show you what you'll need. Our ingredients are very simple. You probably already have a lot of them in your kitchen. Of course, we've got Hawaiian rolls. I use King's Hawaiian because they're sweet and soft and they just work perfectly for this recipe. I also have sliced roast beef, slices of cheddar cheese. For the sauce, I'm using barbecue sauce. You can use whatever brand you like, and or maybe something that's on sale. Just use what you like. So I've got barbecue sauce, mayonnaise, and Dijon mustard. That's gonna be the sauce inside with the roast beef and the cheddar. Next, I've got some Worcestershire sauce, some more Dijon mustard, of course butter, and poppy seeds that we're going to use with a little bit of something special. I'll show you when I make that sauce. And then we're gonna pour that over the sliders after we build them. So let's get to work and build these sliders. Okay, now it's time to make the sliders. I'm gonna give you a tip for slicing the Hawaiian rolls because you want to slice them all across horizontally, but sometimes even with a long knife like this, it's hard to get all the way through. So here's two tips. First, use a serrated knife, and what I like to do is to break the rolls in half and then go this way so it makes it a little bit easier to slice all the way through. Just lay your hand flat on the top and go back and forth making the slices. So you can see we've got the one. I'm gonna place this one in a baking pan, put the bottom down. Then I'll put the tops over here. Now I'm going to do the second section the exact same way and just be gentle with it and go back and forth with the knife. I'll take the top off of this one. It's a little bit uneven, but don't worry about it. That does not make one bit of difference. So if you can see, they're in the pan now, and I've got the tops over here. So that's an easy way to prep those Hawaiian rolls to make the sliders. Now it's time for the sauce. As I told you before, this sauce takes these sliders to a whole new level, and it's tangy and with a little bit of kick from the mustard that you're gonna love. So I've already got all of this in the bowl, in my little bowl here, and it's barbecue sauce, mustard, and mayonnaise. And you can get this recipe on southernsoul.com. Just put in the search bar roast beef sliders, or even just the word slider, and it's gonna come up and give you the full recipe with the measurements. So we've got our sauce ready. Okay, let me move these over here a little bit so we've got more space to build our sliders. And this is just an oven proof baking dish that I think works really well because it's deep. You can use a sheet pan if you want to, but if you get something that has a lip around it, it's much better when you pour the butter sauce over the top. So now we're going to, I'm just gonna pour this on. You want the sauce to go on the bottom layer because that's gonna flavor the rolls and the roast beef once you start piling this on. Spread it evenly. Go all the way to the edges because remember we're going to cut these sliders individually, and you want every one of those little bites to get some of each ingredient in this, which is the sauce, the roast beef, and the cheese. Okay? Now it's time for the beef and the cheese. So I'm just going to, you can do this a number of different ways depending on how thinly sliced the beef is. I bought this and it was already pre-sliced in the package at the deli counter, but you can certainly have the butcher slice your own. I do think it works best with thin sliced, and you want to give a good layer of this beef, okay? I'm going to tell you something. You could use shredded cheese if you want to, but it makes it so easy buying these pre-sliced and these layers, and we're just gonna put these on there, overlap them just a little bit, okay? So, and you're gonna use, for this size of rolls, we're going to use 6 pieces of cheese, okay? So that's that layer. Last thing, we're just gonna take our rolls that we sliced and we're gonna put them on the top. Now, make sure you match them up, okay? So there's our sliders all ready to go. Now we're gonna make the last step, which is the topping. Now we've built our sliders, it's time for the big step, which is to make the butter sauce, which elevates these sliders to something just crazy good. In this bowl, I took the stick of butter and melted it. I just melted it in the microwave, okay? My secret to this is to give it a little bit of sweetness, and I'm adding brown sugar. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar to the butter mixture, okay? It just gives it such a great flavor. You're gonna love the brown sugar mixed in with this, okay? So I'll let that, the butter has cooled pretty much, but the brown sugar will still melt inside of here. Now, what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna give more flavor. We're gonna add some mustard, okay? I'm gonna use just the spoon I'm using to stir this with. You want about a tablespoon of the mustard, okay? I'm gonna stir this in, and let's get some good savory flavor. Try saying that. Also try saying Worcestershire, which I do think I say that pretty well. Anyway, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of Worcestershire to this. Give that a nice stir, and you can use a whisk for this too, just to make sure that mustard is incorporated. And now, of course, we've got to have the poppy seeds, okay? So you can add as many or as little as you want on that. I'm using about, I guess that's about a tablespoon and a half. So once we get all of this mixed up together, I'm going to spoon this over the sliders. And let me move this here so I can get to it a little bit better. And what you've got with this, y'all, is sweet and savory, melted cheese, warm buns. Oh my goodness. I know you're just gonna love it, and you won't believe how good this is. This is also a recipe that you can make ahead of time. And what I've done before is, in years past, is I actually make it up to putting the sauce on and just wrap these in foil and put them in the fridge. And then right before I'm ready to bake them off, I make this sauce, and then I bake them in the oven. I'm going to cover this with foil, pop them in a 350-degree oven, and once they're all gooey and warm in the center and that cheese is melted, I'll show you how to serve them. Okay, the sliders are out of the oven and they are golden brown on the top. I wish you could smell how delicious this aroma is. Okay, so they're a little bit hot, but I'm gonna cut them individually. And again, I'm using this serrated knife that I used before. And it takes a little bit of time, just go easy, go through each of them, because remember, you've got that, you've got the roast beef in there, so you want to cut all the way through that. And like I said, it takes just a little bit of finesse. I'm gonna leave those right there. Let's cut into these and see. What I tend to do is I do cut them almost individually, just because works out a lot better like that for me. And let's see what we got here. Ooh, this is gonna be so good, y'all. Okay, there's a couple of them cut. And let's see what we've got going on. Oh my goodness, does that not look good? Okay, let me show you how I like to serve them. I've got a little plate here with some chips, and I'm just gonna get this little slider out. And y'all, doesn't want to come apart, but that's okay, I've got it. Okay, so what I like to do is just pull the slider out, put it next to a big old layer of chips. Oh my goodness, you see that's trying to slide out. And they are ooey and gooey and absolutely delicious. Now, if you make a tray of these, most of the time in my house, they disappear quickly. But to save any leftovers, here's my tip. Just take them get a couple of pieces of aluminum foil, any leftover sliders, place them on the foil, seal them up really well, and they'll store in the fridge for about 3 days. And if you want to reheat them, I think the best way to do that is in the oven at 325, 350 in the foil, so they heat all the way through. I hope you'll make this recipe. Again, it's on southernsoul.com. Just put in sliders in the search bar, and do me a favor, as always, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this recipe. There's more good things coming, so until next time.